Welcome back, guys. What an awesome closing ceremony. Thank you so much, Alex and Michelle, and all of our Blizzard friends. That was so heartwarming. And now, joining us, we have Overwatch League Commissioner Nate Nanzer. Welcome.
Sorry, I forgot to put my earphone in.
Oh, that's fine. You can probably hear us anyway. Nate, it's so nice to have you on the stage here.
Yeah,
We've
awesome
had
to be here.
a lot of big announcements from the Overwatch League. Can we call it OWL? Is that okay? That's the first question I have.
No.
No.
We're not in
The Overwatch League Commissioner, Nate Nanzer here.
I will admit that on occasion I accidentally say ow.
Well then, I'm glad we got that omission out of the way, but I want to know, you talked about a lot of stuff related to OWL here at BlizzCon. Can you give us a TLDR of what you did announce?
Yeah, so, well, first I want to say thanks. Like, the arena was ridiculous.
Incredible,
It was
right?
so cool.
The atmosphere all weekend was incredible. I apologize to fans if you couldn't make your in there. I hope we got everyone through. It was awesome to see that all weekend. I think today we announced the relaunch of OverwatchLeague.com. Super exciting. I think there's been a lot of esports websites over the years, but I feel pretty good about this one. I think we wanted to make it really easy to be a fan of the Overwatch League. I think sometimes I hear from esports fans, and as a longtime esports fan, sometimes you got to work to be a fan of esports.
Got to figure out when it comes on, when your favorite players are playing. So you guys with your website are going to be taking care of all that?
Yeah, so all the teams, all the players, and then also tons of content. So we already have a couple really awesome long-form editorial pieces, tons of video content. We're going to be adding more content as we lead towards the launch. And we really want it to be a hub if you're an Overwatch League fan. It's one of the first places you go when you wake up every day.
Oh, awesome.
It's so easy to be a fan. I mean, the game is beautiful. It's so exciting. And you've made so many changes going forward as it's grown as an esport, where Overwatch is so fun to watch, so fun to engage with. We saw a lot of those changes here at BlizzCon in action. My favorite, of course, was the character skins that really let you see who's playing on what team.
Team uniforms.
Team uniforms. I love it. Tell us a little bit more about what you're doing visually in-game for the Overwatch League.
Well, it's pretty cool. If you were in the arena, you would see, so you had Team Canada, and you got XQC sitting there in the middle, and he's wearing a Team Canada jersey, and then you look up, and you see Winston wearing a Team Canada jersey.
That's so cool.
And really building that connection. Honestly, like, I think the features that the team has launched around esports are really, like, there's no other esport that has this depth of esports features already, and the game is still so new. You look at the team uniforms, it's not just the skin, it's the entire color palette is changed. We get the little UI bugs with the flags, all the effects are colored. The team put in a tremendous amount of work to do that. It's always been, you know, when you watch Overwatch and there's two graviton surges or two sound barriers, and it's like, oh wait, which one's which? And there are red versus blue, but sometimes you would forget, like, who's the red team, who's the blue team. And our idea is now with this color palette system, you're never gonna forget which team you're watching.
It's so interesting because a lot of people ask us about watchability of esports. Why and how do people watch esports? Can you dive a little deeper into why it's so important to be able to show things like team jerseys in the game to help people enjoy and consume this kind of content?
Yeah, I think for a game like Overwatch, you have, it's so fast-paced. I mean, one of the reasons it's awesome is how fast-paced, how many team fights there are. And we really wanted to make sure that when it used to be, we'd switch from first-person tracer, first-person tracer, first-person tracer, you would kind of lose track. I mean, even people who played the game a lot would lose track of which tracer they were watching. But now, with the skins and with the effect coloring, and you even notice like the team names on the weapons as well, you're never, sort of subconsciously now, you just know who you're looking at.
Yeah.
And so we think it's a really great step in the right direction. And the other feature that I think is subtle, but will be game-changing, is the third-person smart camera.
Yes.
So over the shoulder, Genji tracer, like very smooth movement, always following the hero. We think it's really going to clean up the ability to watch like things like Dragon Blades, which are super sick, but sometimes hard to follow.
Yeah,
absolutely. And the pro players are a little fan of that AD move, so you guys are taking a little bit of that out. It's a really smooth viewing experience. I think fans that got to watch the Overwatch World Cup really got to experience that. But one of the other ways, you know, we're talking about visuals that you're really changing the game is the franchises, the teams that are involved, and how much content they've already put out related to themselves. So tell me about the teams. So
we have 12 teams for season 1. I think one of the biggest challenges we have as a league is building 12, like we're building a new league. We also have to build 12 new brands from scratch. But we have awesome partners in that, and I think the branding turned out so amazing. The game team was heavily involved in that. We're going to have the team uniforms like you saw at World Cup in the game for Overwatch League, and we're currently working on a way where fans can also have team uniforms in Overwatch League
Oh,
to
awesome.
show their who they're fans of. But we've got 12 great partners. That process was really amazing. I think people, there's this period of silence where there wasn't a lot of Overwatch League news, and it wasn't because I was hanging out at the beach. It was because we were working super hard to go get 12 great owners, and we wanted to make sure that everything we did was very professional. And we really, I think, have pulled together a group from traditional sports, from esports, from technology, and now we're really excited. And the message we're hearing from our owners is put us in. They want to help us build this league and be partners as we build this league for Overwatch fans.
Rachel and I, as longtime esports hosts, are always looking for the stories, right? The cool characters that we can start to follow and the narratives that we can start to look at. So are there any cool stories that you particularly have enjoyed with any of these teams, or any cool things that people should watch for yet?
Oh, for sure. I mean, yesterday, the Team USA versus South Korea match, which was ridiculous. It was so good.
Amazing.
I think we're going to look back in a few years, and that's going to be like a seminal moment in the evolution of Overwatch esports. Korea looked human. We had Team USA gave it their all, but that Jake versus Flower matchup was amazing the entire time.
It's okay, Rachel. It's okay.
Is it still happening? Is it still, there are headshots. I saw headshots. There's so many.
Yeah, and that moment where the team was caught that Flower Widowmaker emote, savage.
Well, I'm even thinking about this idea. You said building brands from scratch. So these are all new teams that we're getting to know. Are there any specific, ones that you can tell us anything about? I know you might not want to share favorites.
Yeah, any players, any rosters,
I have
any hard
12
catches?
favorite teams.
Yes.
I think, the roster is really incredible. I think one thing that's unique about Overwatch, I think for esports fans that are maybe new to Overwatch League, is we don't have any region locking. So any player from anywhere in the world can play for any team. And that's the way it works in traditional sports. There's no, the Dodgers don't just have to have Americans on it, right? So we thought that was really important. We wanted, if this was really going to be a global pro league, it needs to be the best players in the world. So there are a lot of Korean players, but there's actually a really great mix. We have 113 players in the league representing 17 countries, which is a really cool story. Lots of players from the US, Sweden, always strong in first-person shooters, is there. We even have players from like Israel and Brazil and Mexico. So it's really, I think, represents what Overwatch stands for as a game, the sort of diversity of heroes that we have, and the diversity of our player base. I mean, there's millions of people all over the world that play Overwatch, and so it's really important for us that the Pro League sort of looked like the player base.
Yeah, I think, we talked about how the players are going to be swagged out. We talked about the teams they're going to join, but we haven't yet figured out when and how they're going to play. So what's the schedule look like for games coming out?
So opening week starts January 10th. Every single week in the Overwatch League, we'll play Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay. We wanted to spread it out. We wanted 3 games per day. We didn't want to have a day where you sort of had to hunker down for 18 hours and watch too many matches. We wanted to sort of let the matches breathe. We also wanted to make sure that we're scheduling matches at a time where our fans around the world are able to watch at a time that's more convenient for them. So obviously we're playing all our matches in LA, but we're playing games at times like 8 p.m. Pacific, where in Asia it'll be sort of lunchtime the next day, and they can catch their favorite team. So we wanted to be really thoughtful about how, because we have a global league and we want to go to home and away, that we can start building those allegiances in the local markets now.
And that's the reason why you have your OverwatchLeague.com for people to go and find out when their teams are playing. That's where people should go.
For sure. And the thing that I think is super cool is the companion app. So there's going to be a companion app that'll go live around the time the league launches, and there's actually a favoriting system.
Oh, cool.
So you can basically say, I'm a huge fan of the Seoul Dynasty. I can favorite them.
That's really nice.
And then it'll send you a push notification every time they play, if you want a push notification. You can also set different notifications for other things. We can help you add games to your calendar, all sorts of features like that. But again, really going to be make it easy to be a fan.
I'm loath to compare esports to traditional sports most of the time, but that's one of my favorite ways to stay up to date with my favorite sports team. So I'm really excited that I can stay in touch that easily with what's going on with my team.
Yeah, and merch is a big part of it. Obviously, this jacket is super sick.
You're looking fly, Nate.
We're going to make jackets like this. Like, I don't know if you remember the old school starter jackets for football teams.
Oh, yeah.
We're going with that vibe.
Cool.
But we got some really cool stuff planned. Jerseys for every team, home and away, hats, joggers. We're even making socks.
Nice. I got those Overwatch socks. Those Sweet Jinx socks.
Well, and you might have seen we had the World Cup jerseys for sale outside the arena this week, which is super
Everybody's
cool.
decked out in them.
Super cool. And we want, that's another thing, We want to make it really easy to be a fan. We don't want to get in the way of fandom, and we want you to be able to represent your favorite team walking down the street.
Cool.
Yeah, and as you guys go forward, and as fans build up their excitement for this, I mean, where are they going to get to interact most? Are they actually going to get to come to the Burbank studio to come see games? Is my
understanding? For sure. So tickets for the preseason at Blizzard Arena in LA go on sale Monday. Actually.
Wow.
Follow at OverwatchLeague.com. We'll have information on all the socials. Ticket sales for the league we're going to announce very soon. The Blizzard Arena, have you been? It's ridiculously nice. Super cool. Right in the heart of Burbank. Really easy to get to. Good parking, which matters if you're from Los Angeles. And it's going to be our home for the first year. Our plan eventually is to go home and away, right? So when Shanghai plays LA, it's played in either Shanghai or LA. But for the first year, we really wanted to give our teams time to build that local capability. Throwing an eSport event is a lot of work, and we want to make sure they have time to build that infrastructure. But yeah, fans should definitely stay tuned. OverwatchLeague.com, all our socials. We'll have ticket information. Come down and see Blizzard Arena. It's gorgeous. And we'll have all the merch for sale there as well.
Great. Fantastic. I mean, is there anything we missed, Nate? Any other information you want to share with the fans?
Just make sure, again, stay tuned. We got a lot coming. I also want to give a shout out. We will be announcing additional information soon about Contenders, the development league that leads the Overwatch League and the Overwatch Open Division, as well as information about the future of the Overwatch World Cup. I hope we'll have that news out later this month.
Great. Well, thank you so much. So much to keep an eye on OverwatchLeague.com.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nate, for being here. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks a lot.